Hi everyone, and welcome back to Lesson 5 of IQ Designer in my Design Center. In this video I'm working on a Babylock Valiant, and this would be comparable to a Brother 1050X. If you have any high-end Brother or Babylock machine that has IQ Designer or my Design Center, many of the principles and concepts introduced in this video will be applicable to those machines, even though it might look a little bit different. So on my machine, I'm going to go into IQ Designer. If you have a Brother machine, you're going to go into my Design Center. Now, we're going to focus today on region properties because they're a lot of fun. And we're going to work with our Shapes tool when I introduce this. So I'm going to press Shapes, and I'm going to choose the circle, just the outline. Press OK. This circle is too big, so I'm going to resize it, bring it down in size. Let's see how small we can go. Go a little bit smaller. All right, that's pretty good. And I'll press OK. I'm going to move this around the screen. It has the red bounding box, which will allow me to select it and move it. And as long as that red bounding box is around that shape, I can make a copy of it. So I'll make a second copy. And I will make a third copy, and I will make a fourth copy, as well as a fifth copy. All right, there we go. So these are all circles with a line property. There is nothing in them. Nothing will stitch out inside them because we haven't told it to put something inside. So I'm going to go into my notepad right now, and I'm going to select the satin fill. Notice how our fill properties look different from our line properties. All right, and that's normal. So we'll default to the satin fill in the red color. I'll press OK. Choose your fill tool right here and touch that shape. So now we have a satin fill inside that shape. What are all of the lines? Well, remember that when we draw a shape, it's going to default to either the last stitch that we used, if our machine was on, or if we just turned our machine on. Every one of these circles has an outline of a black satin stitch. Let's prove that right now. We'll press Next, we'll press Preview, and press OK. And check it out. You have your red fill right here, your satin fill, but all of these circles have that black satin stitch around it, but nothing's in them. Not yet. We're going to press Return, press Cancel. All right, so we're going to continue this by putting more region properties into the rest of our circles. So I'm going to go into my notepad, and I will choose the stipple fill. And I'll choose a different color here, and then press OK. There we go. We got a different color. I think that's a little different. And then we'll go into our notepad again, and I'll choose my special fill, which will bring up another icon with a button to choose. Press Select. And I'm going to go with my default pattern fill of 001. Press OK. I will change the color on that. And I will press OK, press your fill tool, and then press that circle. All right, so that filled too. I'm going to go into my notepad again, press Select, choose my diamond stitch, press OK, choose a different color, press OK, and fill this circle right here. And then I'm going to add the fill to the last one. So I'm going to press my notepad, press my special fill, and then select and choose my last one. I will use this one right here and press OK. And then I can choose my color if I want it. I will choose, maybe I'll choose that, this blue right here. Press OK. Press your fill tool, and then just fill that last circle. So right now when we press Next, it's going to show us what those fills actually look like, because this screen only tells us what fill has been applied. It doesn't show it what it's going to look like. And remember, in this screen also, it defaults to the line of the satin stitch around the circle, but again, it doesn't show us what it actually looks like. So press Next, and then press Preview, and then press OK. And it will show us exactly what those circles look like and what fills have been applied. This is exactly how it's going to look when it stitches out. Now that we know what the fills look like, we can get kind of fancy with this. So if you look at all of these fills, we know exactly how it's going to look, but maybe you want to do micro stippling in here. Maybe you want to make this shape inside this this pattern smaller. Maybe you want to make your diamond pattern smaller and maybe change the rotation, and same with your bricks. Now if you look up here at this filled circle in red, it may be hard to see on your screen, but if I look really close, I can see white dots on my pattern fill. Those white dots are actually open spaces, so I'm going to show you some ways you can go about to make sure that when this stitches out, almost all of it is filled in. Remember, this is not digitizing software, so we have to work with some of the limitations of the module itself, but you have to be very careful. Look at these critically to really decide what changes you want to make. To make those changes, I'm going to go and press return. When we get to this screen, we know that we can hop back and forth between areas that we want to work with by using our select arrows. So if I choose my right arrow, it's going to take me over to the second circle, third, fourth, and fifth. Now it highlights what is being identified by the module itself. So for example, if you wanted to change something in that fill, the appearance of the fill, you could do it just as long as you see that halo effect around this particular object. And if you look up here, you can see the blue and you can see the pattern fill up here. However, if you wanted to change the line property of this same circle, you can't do it because you're not highlighting the line. So watch what happens when I press select. Now, when it goes back to the first circle, it's highlighting it with the halo effect. Whoops, let me go back here. And I'll go back to that halo effect right here. Here's the halo effect. And it's telling me that, oh, I see the line and that I see it's a satin stitch. Right now with this selected and the halo effect around the circle, you cannot do anything with the fill. I'll press the right arrow key again. Again, you have the halo effect, black line, satin stitch. You can change the attributes of the satin stitch, but you cannot access that fill yet. So I can keep going through all of these circles and it will show me the line property that has been attached to it. I'll go back to that first circle. Notice here, I still have that halo effect around that circle. It might be hard to see on your computer screen, but I can see it. And it's highlighting the red satin fill. So if you look down here, you're going to see a new set of icons that maybe you hadn't seen before. So I can change the direction of the fill. I can change the density of the fill. I can change the push-pull compensation, and I can change the underlay. I don't know why, but on these machines, the underlay is turned off. And when you are doing a fill stitch of a fairly large area like this, always turn the underlay on because that's going to give that area, that object, some support, supporting stitches underneath. So what I'm going to do is change the direction of that fill stitch. Maybe I'll go up to 60 and then I'll press set. Let me see how it looks in a preview. Press OK. And I can see right now I have a lot less of those white spots that I saw before. I still can see a few, so let me press return. And I'm going to change my density and increase it up one tick to 110 and press set. I'll do another preview. Press OK. That looks great. I can't see any white in that circle now. So I have the fill of that first circle exactly the way I like it. Let's go over to the second circle right here, and I can see what my stippling looks like, but maybe I want to make it micro stippling. So I'll press return, and I need to get that halo effect around that second circle that has that stipple effect applied. So I'll press my right arrow. I see the halo effect around it. I know I'm accessing the fill because it shows me the color and it shows me the fill right here. So I'm going to go into my stipple spacing. I'm going to bring it all the way down to the lowest setting and then press set. And then I will press preview. Press OK. And there we have some really cool micro stippling. All right, let's take a look at this third one. I'll press return, and I am going to use my right arrow key to select this circle right here. And I'm going to change the size of that design right there. So I'm going to, well, I should say size of the fill. I'm going to access my size, and I'm going to change it to, I'm going to say 50%, and press preview, and then press OK. All right, looks pretty cool. I can see more of that pattern, and that really is a beautiful effect. I'll press return. Let's work with the fill in that fourth circle. Press your right arrow. And then I am going to, let's see, I know I can change the size because you saw me say change the size of the pattern fill in this one. So I'm not going to change the pattern fill of the diamond pattern, but I am going to change the direction so you can see how that works. So I changed it to 30%. I'll press set, press preview, press OK, and we will have a change in the direction. All right, press return. We have our last circle here. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I will press my right arrow key. Again here, I will change the size of the bricks, and I am also going to change the angle. I'll change it up to 15 degrees, press set, and press preview, and press OK. All right, let's check this out. All right, perfect. So you can kind of see some of these changes that we've made. What I want you to do is go in and work with your shapes. I want you to create some shapes, use your copy and paste to get practice using copy and paste, and go in and look at the attribute changes you can make on all the different types of the fills, because I think you're really going to have a lot of fun with this. So right now, your homework is to go back to your home screen right here, and I want you to go into shapes. I want you to bring some shapes up, put it on your screen, do copy and paste a couple times, and I want you to experiment adding some of those awesome pattern fills. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed lesson 5. I want you to go to it and get your homework done, and I will see you in lesson 6.